What up, guys? This is my first POV video of me racing. This is at the Hoos Foolin Hoo road race in Windham, Connecticut at Camp Horizons, put on by O2 Event Productions, owned by Charles, my good friend, who does races all over the state of Connecticut. He goes out nationwide and internationally, and I'll always support his races. Especially this one. I went to it last year, but I didn't run. This year, I did run. And this year, I'm pushing my daughter in the stroller, as you can see. Now, right now, this is the start of the race, and we are about to go right now. Start of the race is always crazy because you always have to zigzag in and out of people. And as you can see on the right, we have to dodge kids that are way slower than what they think. Even the race director and other people said for them to get back to let the faster runners through. But do they listen? Never. But that's okay. We made it through, and we are on the first part of the race, getting onto the main road and taking a left here. I am currently in seventh, fifth, sixth, fifth. I can't. At this point, I wasn't even thinking. I was already dying of breathing and the heat and just trying to push my daughter downhill at this point. Now, I don't know if I went out at a very fast pace, but according to this, I was actually doing a sub six pushing the stroller, which is not really heard of for me to do because normally I do about 750s, 8 minute per miles. But we wanted to see where I was at with this race, so I tried to go all out with this. And I can say that I did pretty good. But we got to our first turn, and we are about to get to the first hill right here. And it's not a big hill. It's just a small hill leading up to the start of the race and then taking a left and then going a completely different way on the route. But it was a beautiful day. Wasn't as cold as it should have been, but it was still a tough race. Now, with this race, there was a bunch of 169 community members, which is, like I mentioned before, it was a group founded back in the 2010s, and it is a goal to run a race in every town in Connecticut. It has to be a mile or longer, has to be timed, and it has to be posted on the internet. I already have this down. I got Windham, I'd say 2 years ago, I think, when I did another one of Charles' races, which was called the Boombox Mile. And that was actually in Willimantic, but Willimantic is a city and Windham is the town. Now, as you can see in the video, we took a right, and this is where we're going uphill. The uphill continues before we get to a side street and turn around. But we are still trying to make our way up, and we are currently in fifth place, I believe. The first runner did this in like an 11-minute per mile, and he was actually the last year winner of this race. And if we can see when he goes by in a little bit, he was holding this stick indicating that he was the winner of last year. I just got absolutely smoked by this kid just now. had no regards and just flew right by me because my butt was going absolutely slow at this point. I was huffing and puffing, and if you heard me, you thought I was going to die. Mira, my daughter, was yelling at me, "Dad, keep going, go faster, go faster." And I'm thinking to my head, I'm like, "Girl, I'm going as fast as I can. Be quiet and let me just sit there and look pretty." Just like how the penguins was like, "Smile and wave, boys, smile and wave." That was her. Now me, I was struggling. Now there goes the first place female winner. She did this 2 mile in a 12:30 per mile, which is a 6:15 12:30 per mile. Excuse me. She did the entire 2 miles in 12 minutes and 30 seconds, which is at a 6:15 per mile, I believe. Now I did this in a 14:26, which is a 7:13. Yeah, 7:13 per mile while pushing the stroller. Now, normally when I push the stroller, I do about 2 to 3 minutes slower than what I should be when I don't have that extra weight. But it was good up until this point. My heart rate was a little high. We are in the 185s right now. Normally, I cap out about 195, but there are those races where my heart rate does go above 200 beats per minute. My record for beats per minute was 210 a couple years ago at a trail race. Not sure how I didn't die, but my heart goes pretty fast when I run compared to other runners whose heart rate is like in the 150s and 160s, which I think is absurd, which I would love to get my heart rate down to, but it does not cooperate. Now, at this point in the race, we are going downhill, which is very nice because it is a break from going uphill. But the thing is, if you look at the map on the bottom left hand corner, that long line that goes down, we have to turn around and come back up it. That's the one thing about hills. What must go up must come down, and what must go down must come right back up. And as you can see, the pace is now at a 7:15, so you can tell that we're going downhill. Now here comes the first place runner charging up the hill at a sub 6 per mile pace. Absolute great runner, by the way. I've run with him many times. Always in front of the pack. And right now, after this kid in red, we can see the first place female right now coming through. She was absolutely cooking it. I was so proud of her, of how she was handling the hills and powering up the hill. And here's another thing. Do not look down when you're running, because when you look down, it makes you go slower. You need to look up and make sure that your lungs can breathe. Don't do what I do. I do it wrong. Last time I turned a corner, I almost dumped Mira because I was going too fast, so I made sure to go a little slower this time and going around. But she's looking around because there's farms left and right, and she loves animals. So she was pretty ecstatic about that. So she was just chilling in the carriage right now, looking at all the people go by. One of her old friends from her daycare was actually in this race, but they were, I'm not sure where they were because we were flying by. I only saw them for a split second at the end, and that's when the last time I saw him, because after I didn't see him. Now, as you can see, we almost careened into a kid because he wasn't paying attention. But that's what you get when you do an out and back race, because people don't move out of the way for the front runners, and I absolutely despise that. Because if you see a runner coming back and they're in front, move out of the way. Now, as you can see, there's me who's absolutely on the other side of the line, so that's kind of my fault as well. So it goes both ways. But dodging cars here, dodging people there, and absolutely cruising. We're still going to up the hill. Like, this was a massive hill coming back. But at least it ended on a downhill. That's the one thing about races. That was Aaron right there, one of my good friends with his daughter. I actually paced his daughter at the Colebrook Half Marathon last year. I was pacing the 2:30 group, and she was with me before she went ahead at mile 8 and finished like 20 minutes before me. So she was absolutely cooking that race and cooking at this race. So it's pretty cool to see those two at this race. Now there goes the first stroller right behind me that just passed. Not the first stroller, the second stroller. I was the first stroller. See, that's the thing about the first stroller. They really need, not they, well, yeah, race directors and the USATF people need to make a separate side division of strollers. Like how you have 20 to 29, 30 to 39, 10 to 19 age groups. And then you've got Athena, and then you've got Clydesdale divisions. I think women over 150 is Athena, and men over 200 is Clydesdale. I feel like they really need to make a stroller division because it will allow kids to come out, younger kids, and it will make parents inclined to bring their kids and push them. It will help kids to come outside, experience new things, experience the air, and have a fun time. I'm a big supporter of that because I believe that that should be a division because it will make wonders for kids. At this point, I'm just absolutely dying. Even though we're going downhill, I just wanted to quit. After that uphill and downhill part, it doesn't come easy. Even with the downhill, it's still not easy. I'm yawning just thinking about how tired I was. If you saw me, whew, you'd be like, call the ambulance. This man needs to go to the hospital. Like, good Lord. At this point, we are coming up to the last turn. We're about a quarter mile away from the finish line. And the first place male already finished. The first place female already finished. And I believe at this point I got sixth place in locked. I was trying to catch up to this kid that was ahead of me because he kept looking behind. And that's one thing that you don't do during a race is to look behind because it slows you down and it gives you bad thoughts in your head. Keep looking forward no matter what. Even if the person is right behind you, keep looking forward because then it's all a mind game. Because if you look back and you see that person, you're going to be like, oh crap, I'm about to lose. And you don't want those negative thoughts in your head. That's why I was trying to keep up with that kid because I knew he was slowing down. He actually walked on this course. But he got lucky because he kept on going. And that's that mentality that I love. So good for him for finishing. Right now we are at the last hill and we're about to turn right and finish this race. This wasn't a bad race, but these are my thoughts about this race. And I would say I would probably do it again. I wish it was a little warmer, but it was a race that I'd probably like to come back to next year. This was the Hoos Foolin Hoo road race, presented by Camp Horizons and O2 Event Productions. A very fun race, a very flat race, and great food at the end. There's my man Charles right there. But we finished 2 miles 14:26 at a 7:13 per mile race. And that was my very first POV shot of a race. Now, if you made it this far, congratulations. My God, you will be cringing with me. But on to the next.